I fixed my life with 6 habits, and all of my habits reinforce each other. My life needs to have a purpose. I'm only here for a short while. What am I doing here? And how am I going to live a life of intention or a life of simplicity without some actions, without some habits that are necessary to my life? Come hell or high water, I'm going to do these things. That's what makes them habits, is that no matter what happens, these are the things that I'm doing on a daily basis without question. If I want to show up in life, if I want to be of the successful, if I want to be there for my loved ones, then I have to discipline myself. I have to hold myself accountable. And in order to do that, I have to have these habits. 6 habits that fixed my life. The first habit, prayer. Prayer is how I connect to my Creator. I must believe, I must have the sense that my purpose is to connect to something greater than myself. And having said that, prayer is an end in itself. There hasn't been one day in 9 years that hasn't started on my knees or ended on my knees. Started in the morning asking God, ended at night thanking God. Prayer is a central habit to my life. There's not one day that I don't pray. It is the most important habit. Prayer is how I worship Allah, my Creator, and it is also my purpose. So when I get down on my face before Almighty God, the Ar-Rahman, the most merciful, the most beneficent, Al-Karim, most generous, most noble, when I get down on my knees and on my face before Him, I'm successful. So in reality, I could stop here with prayer. Once I've made it to prayer, once I've gotten down on my knees before the Creator, that's the most successful I'm going to be in life. So surely prayer is one of the 6 habits, if not the most important habit, if not the habit that fixed my life. Prayer, connecting to my Creator. My younger brother passed away suddenly in 2018 of a fentanyl overdose. I saw it coming and there was nothing I could do to stop it. I was powerless over my brother's oncoming death. I knew he was circling the drain. The day he died, or the day after he died, I prayed. The day he died, I went to bed that night and wept myself to sleep, but I didn't skip my prayer. Prayer was something that helped me get through the worst pain I've ever experienced in my life. And the thing about prayer is it's not something you try to do, it's something you just do. So even if you don't believe it, just do it. When I started praying 9 years ago, almost 10 years ago, I didn't really want anything to do with God. I was instructed to pray if I wanted to survive. And I just did it anyways. Like I said, I didn't really believe it, didn't really want to do it, but I knew I wanted to survive, and so I did it anyways. So I acted as if. And you can do the same thing. Secondly, meditation. If prayer is talking to God, meditation is stillness where we can listen to God. Again, that's a daily habit. 9 years, no skips. Every day, 9 years, there has been silence, intentional stillness in my life with meditation. I was a nobody before prayer and meditation in my life. Now I have a life. A life crept up on me. I have some friends. My wife is the nicest person I've ever met in my life. And it's all there today because of prayer. I'm a licensed professional in the state of Connecticut. Why? Because I pray and meditate. Third most important habit in my life is getting up super early. Like we're talking about 3:30 in the morning. And I don't care what time I go to bed. Tonight's going to be a late night for me, but I'm going to get up at 3:30 in the morning because I don't want to stay in bed. There's too much to do. You get up at 3:30 in the morning, there isn't enough time in the day to do the things that are going to come into your mind with these habits. I set my alarm for 3:30 every day. It doesn't matter what time I went to bed. When that alarm goes off in the morning, I'm not debating with it. I'm getting out of bed, making my bed, and starting my prayers for the day. Getting up early is so important, so beneficial. First of all, I'm forcing myself to do the uncomfortable. And if first thing in the morning I force myself to do what's most uncomfortable for me, then the rest is going to be easy. Second of all, you're up before everybody else is, so there's zero distractions. You want to get things done, you find that there's too much happening in the world, get up at 3:30 in the morning. You'll find that there's no distractions for several hours. Thirdly, you can get done, you'll get more accomplished by 7:30 in the morning than most people get accomplished in an entire day. You have things you want to do in life, you have creative goals, you have educational goals, you have physical fitness that you want to accomplish. You have to get up early. You have to get up before everything else starts going. Once everything else starts going, everything in the world is fighting you for your time. Everybody and everything. Once it's up and going, it is going to be fighting you for your time. So you have to make that time for yourself if you have goals. Fourth, this is how you will achieve freedom. Early rising. Discipline demands it. Exercise. These are no-brainers. Every day I exercise. Physical fitness is a net positive. It is a life-affirming, life-extending activity. It's a no-brainer. Again, every day I set my timer for 20 minutes. Come hell or high water, 20 minutes I'm doing these exercises. I do 5 pull-ups, 15 push-ups, 20 body weight squats, and a 30-second plank. That's it. It's easy. Easy peasy. And it's the kind of exercise that I can do every single day without hurting myself. It helps me to stay toned. It helps me to stay trimmed. More important than the results is the discipline. The discipline is the biggest gift of all of these habits. With discipline, you can lead men. You can lead yourself. You can lead others. You can live a wonderful life if you have discipline. You either suffer the pain of discipline. I've heard it said, I'm not sure where. Suffer the pain of discipline or suffer the pain of regret. I'd rather suffer the pain of discipline and do my daily exercise. So that's my 20-minute regular every single day exercise. Secondly is a 1-hour walk with my wife. And again, I could run, don't really need to. Walking is adequate for me. If I'm walking every single day and I'm doing these exercises every single day, I'm getting up at 3:30 in the morning, I don't have to run. I just don't need to. Other people are passionate about it. It's a great physical fitness, but I like going for a walk. It allows me to connect with my wife. It's quality time for us together, going on that walk. What's the point of all of this discipline if I don't have anybody to share my time with? So not only walking gives me the exercise that I need, it improves my mental and physical health, it's also quality time that I can spend with my wife. Finally, and as a bonus, I go to the gym and lift weights. So going to Planet Fitness, it's $15 a month. It's $15 a month right now. It's a no-brainer. Go to Planet Fitness, get a cheap gym membership and lift some weights. That's important, so that's the other thing I do. But the walk and the 20-minute exercise, those are the most important. I set that timer. That's like no discussion, no debate. It's got to get done. The only way I'm not doing those things is if there's something physically preventing me from doing them, or I've planned not on doing them, or maybe I'm working a 12-hour shift that day and the time just isn't there. But if I've got a day off and I'm able to do it, I'm walking and I'm doing that 20-minute calisthenic routine I outlined for you. Again, 5 pull-ups, 15 push-ups, 20 body weight squats, and a 30-second plank. If you can't do 5 pull-ups, do 1 pull-up. If you can't do 1 pull-up, try to do a 1-minute hang. If you can't do a 1-minute hang, do a 30-second hang. Get the bar on Amazon. It's less than $30. Put it in a doorway. You don't even need to leave your house to get in shape. Write. I write for 10 minutes every day. Again, I'm not setting a timer for 30 minutes, okay? We'll backtrack a little bit with the exercise. I'm not setting a timer for 30 minutes. I'm not setting a timer for 1-hour pull-ups. I go for a 1-hour walk because it's enjoyable. I'm outside, get the fresh air, get the sun, see other people, you know? But writing, back to the task at hand, writing. I set a timer for 10 minutes because it's manageable for me. It's something I can do every day. Again, we're in this thing for the long haul, not the sprint. This is a marathon, you know? So I have to do something that's sustainable. What happens with writing is when we start out, we go and we set a timer for too much time, or we set a goal for ourselves. We write and write and write and write and write. And by day 5, there's nothing left to do. So small steps, long-term consistency is what we're after, not a sprint, just long-term consistency. I made another video, hasn't had too many views, but I said it's easier to maintain than it is to attain. That's what we want to do. We want to get to a place where we're gliding, we're coasting. And once we're up here, that's all we need to do. You know, like with a big tractor wheel, getting it rolling. It's going to be really, really hard to get that wheel up off the ground. You're going to have to use all your strength to get that wheel standing upright. But then once you get that wheel upright, all you got to do is just move it in the direction you want it to go. And that's what your life is like. With writing, I set a timer for 10 minutes every morning, and I record the date, the time, and I write whatever comes to my mind. I quiet my mind by letting it go wherever it wants when I write. And other times I write about what I want to accomplish that day. The net effect is I'm asking myself the questions that matter to me, and some of the answers are there in paper. Carved into stone at the temple at Delphi, the temple of Apollo, is the phrase, know thyself. How can I know myself if I'm not writing, if I'm not asking myself these questions? So I write every single day. I know myself through keeping a daily journal, a daily habit of self-analysis. Secondly, I use a field notes journal. And on the field notes journal, I just checklist everything I want to do for that day. Everything I do every single day. I know I'm going to get up. I know I'm going to make espresso. I know I'm going to do wudu, the ritual purification. I know I'm going to pray. I know I'm going to exercise already. Like I already know those things. But the habit of writing down reinforces everything else. And that's the point that I'm trying to drive home with these habits, is each of these habits reinforces the next. Writing, a daily habit of writing, is going to reinforce daily habit of exercise. The daily habit of exercise is going to reinforce the daily habit of writing. The daily habit of getting up early is going to reinforce the daily habit of prayer and the daily habit of meditation. They all work together. So even though I know I'm going to do these things, the come hell or high water, non-negotiable habits of my life, I still write them down. Because if I'm writing down the things I need to do on my daily, regular habits, I'm also going to be writing down the appointments I need to keep. I'm also going to be writing down the ideas that I have. I'm also going to be writing down the step processes to develop systems in my life to be the most successful that I can be. So again, so far we have prayer, meditation, get up super early, not the 5 a.m. club, we're the 3:30 in the morning club. Write, create. Some form of self-expression is necessary for my mental and emotional well-being, whether it is curating or redesigning my environment, coloring, taking photos, poetry, or creating content for YouTube. Now, where I distinguish between writing poetry, for example, or writing a story, for example, and the point 5, writing, is writing as a daily habit. Specifically, this kind of non-negotiable habit of writing every single day is analyzing processes and planning. So it's very concrete, what I'm doing here writing. It's a 10-minute timer for the daily journal, and it's however long it takes to make my checklist. It's less than 5 minutes to write my checklist down for the day so that I know what I'm doing that day. If I want to write creatively, that's different. It's not the same thing. There's an intention there. So, and again, I wouldn't write necessarily I don't write creatively every single day. Like I said, I may color. It may be taking care of my plants. Gardening, having a green thumb. That still counts as creativity. Creating content for YouTube. So my life has been impacted enormously by other artists, and I have that same drive to create inside of me, and I'm either going to nurture it or I'm going to lose it. And so nurturing this value of self-expression is supremely important to me. My emotional well-being is benefited by doing things that are creative and doing things that are creative recreationally. So expressing myself helps me to connect to myself in a way that I would not be able to without art. So I'm able to breathe and make space and achieve by being creative. Being creative could include cleaning and organizing, decluttering. And this kind of creativity has a huge impact on my sense of peace and ease. The thing about creativity as well is you don't need to be a great artist. Just do it. Just do it. If it's coloring or doodling, whatever piques your interest, just do it. You don't need to be a great artist, okay? I'm not a great artist, but I'm just gonna do it because I'm not gonna get to the end of my life, the last 5 minutes of my life, and be asking myself, why didn't I make anything? You don't wanna get to the end of your life and be asking yourself, why didn't I make anything? All of my habits reinforce each other. Prayer gives me a reason to get up early. Getting up early gives me time to write and time to exercise. Praying, meditating, writing, exercising feeds my mind, body, and soul and gives me the spiritual nourishment that I need to be creative and make something that I can feel good about and might perhaps help other people. These are the habits that make my life what it is. Simple, happy. A simple, happy life, built on habits, built on discipline. And again, these aren't things that I'm trying. I'm not trying meditation. I'm not trying prayer. I've been doing prayer and meditation for 9 years. I'm not trying getting up early. I'm not trying exercise. I've been doing these habits for years and years and years. Daily self-analysis and writing and planning. I've been doing them every day since 2016. These are habits that I've built into my life, and they're not going anywhere. That's why they're habits. And the fruits of these habits are that I have a simple, quiet, happy life. I'm not caught up in the chaos out there. They enable me to show up at my best for the ones I love the most. Thank you for joining me.